Coming up this week, police urge people to come forward with information after a series of campus attacks. The early closing of the last ever Hive club night causes controversy after vandalism and fights put the premises licence in jeopardy. Also this week, we talk to students in the run-up to the university's referendum on Scottish independence to gauge voting patterns. And we check out celebrations for the Chinese New Year. Welcome to Pulse, GUST news programme, keeping you up to date with all the biggest campus headlines. We will now take you over to our news correspondent, Nadine Jizar, who has all of the latest information about the attacks on campus and what you can do if you have any information.
Thanks, Jericho. Yes, Strathclyde police are appealing for information after a series of indecent assaults around the west end of Glasgow involving women between the ages of 19 and 23. An official description has been released of a man between 6 foot and 6 foot 2 inches in height, wearing dark clothes with a black beanie hat or cap. Police numbers have increased in the area, and all CCTV footage is being reviewed in the hope of identifying the suspect. To ensure your own safety, Strathclyde Police have guidelines on their website, www.strathclyde.police.uk. Please try and stay in a group when walking and keep to well-lit, busy areas. Always have your mobile phone well charged and carry a personal attack alarm. Please keep these easily accessible on your person, and the alarms are available for free at the SRC. Chief Inspector Alan Gibson said he would like to appeal to anyone who may have witnessed a man fitting the description of the suspect, acting suspiciously around the areas and times of the incidents, to get in touch with the police. If you require any further information or wish to speak to someone on campus, visit the SRC in the John McIntyre building or go to the SRC website at www.glasgowstudent.net/advice. And if you've seen anything or have any information regarding this or any other incident, please contact the police. Back to you, Jericho.
After being promoted as the last extravaganza of the Hive nightclub at Glasgow University Union, the night was cut short and many people have asked what went wrong. We are now going live outside the Union to our events correspondent, Joshua Lee. Joshua, what more can you tell us?
Hi Jericho, yes, there was controversy abound last week after the last ever Hive club night ended prematurely at 2 a.m, rather than the originally intended 6 a.m. The GUU had obtained an extended licence for the final club night before its redevelopment into sports and recreation facilities. After talks with Strathclyde Police, the union board members decided to cut short the night for health and safety reasons after a series of attacks and vandalism within the Hive.
So Joshua, can you tell us any more about what the board members' reaction to the vandalism and violence was? And did they address the calls to refund ticket money for the event?
Yes, GUST spoke to the GUU President David Lockhart earlier today, who said the board took the difficult decision because they felt people were in jeopardy and would rather some were annoyed than hurt. He then went on to say that he would like to think that the vandalism was not intentionally malicious, but because of it everyone had to suffer. When we asked Lockhart about the requested refunding of tickets, he confirmed that there would be no refund because the night was advertised based on it being the last ever Hive and not a 10-hour club night, as the licence was only granted post-event marketing. But Jericho, the question that has been arisen now is what will these acts mean for the granting of licences for other GU events in the future? Back to you.
In the lead up to the Scottish independence referendum in autumn 2014, the university played host to a mock referendum to gauge voting patterns. GUST news team was there to follow the whole event and spoke to students about their choices.
This week, Glasgow University hosted a mock independence referendum on campus, the first of its kind in the whole United Kingdom. In the lead up to voting day, campaigners were out in force trying to win votes, especially for the large percentage of the student population who are unsure which way to vote. Although all the major political parties were on campus, the visible division was between the camps for the Yes Scotland and Better Together campaigns, with student relations on campus being both strengthened and challenged by the independence question. We caught up with students after they cast their vote to get a feel for the success of the campaigns.
I voted no because I don't think there'd be much benefit from an independent. I think it's a lot of hassle for not much benefit.
I voted pro-independence, basically because I believe that Scotland should be run by Scotland and not by Westminster.
After weeks of events, debates and vigorous campaigning, the results were announced in the final of a series of talks in the GUU Debates Chamber on Thursday night. The eyes of the British press were watching as the voting numbers were revealed, with both campaigns hoping to chalk up a significant psychological win against the opposing side. GUST can now reveal the results.
The number of spoilt ballot papers was 8. On the question, should Scotland be an independent country, the number of yes votes was 967. The number of no votes was 1,614.
It was clear the Better Together campaign had taken comfort from the resounding victory, with the Yes campaigners staving off an inevitable disappointment by stating that whilst great things start with yes, they never come easy. After the results announcement, GUST caught up with Jackie Baillie, Labour MSP for Dumbarton, and Blair Jenkins, chairman for the Yes Scotland campaign, to ask what they thought about the campus result.
By, I think, a percentage of 62% against independence, 38% in favour, they've sent a clear signal that what they care about is a strong Scotland, but a strong Scotland within the United Kingdom.
So whether it's higher education that matters to you, or social justice, or getting rid of nuclear weapons in Scotland, I think people have to think about this, and I believe they will then come to the view that in terms of which vote will deliver the outcome you want, I think most of the outcomes that people in Scotland want will best be delivered by a yes vote than by a no vote.
Despite the no vote that was won by a 63% majority, both sides acknowledge there is still everything to play for in the run-up to the 2014 independence referendum. However, with only approximately 12% of the student population actively casting a vote, the greater issue is how will either side manage to engage the voting populace. Bobby Ray reporting for GUST Pulse.
The Glasgow University's Confucius Institute hosted celebrations for Chinese New Year this week, welcoming in the Year of the Snake.
The celebrations for the Chinese New Year began with an open-air dragon dance with lavish costumes and traditional music. Throughout the night, music from both cultures featured strongly, including a Scottish piper, ceilidh band, dulcimer, and an original song for the Chinese New Year, written and performed by the St Ninians vocalists and nursery school children. Talks from the principals of the Institute and the Chinese General Consulate, Mr. Lee, said that they hoped the night would help to promote relations and understanding between China and Scotland. The Confucius Institute has taught Chinese to around 150 students over the past year and supported 9 from the university to study on an exchange programme, working to develop on cultural links. GUST can confirm that after a night of wonderful music, food and culture, and perhaps with the aid of a fortune cookie or two, it looks set to be a great Year of the Snake. Arif Nadeem reporting for GUST Pulse.
And now to the sports news, where the women's volleyball team finished as runners-up in the SSS Cup in Dundee. The men's rugby first 11 have beaten Heriot Watt 28-14 in the Bucks League and are looking for just one more win in order to secure promotion. The women's rugby team managed an impressive 101-0 victory over Aberdeen's first 11. To women's hockey now, and the third 11 secured their 20th win in 20 games, while the men's second 11 go on to win 2-1 over their rivals at Edinburgh University. The American football team, the Tigers, take home 2 great wins, first beating Napier 36-6, and then Stirling by 6-1. And finally, the netball girls remain undefeated in the Bucks League and made it through to the semi-final in the SSS tournament. That's all for the Sports Roundup. Now over to Christina with the weather.
Hi there. It's been a mild week, but the sun's managing to break through, giving sunny spells throughout Glasgow. Looking at the map here, you can see the areas of cloud cover that will be passing by. Highest temperatures look set to be about 8 degrees, and the lowest possibly plummeting to -3 later on, so don't go breaking out the suntan lotion just yet. So it's a bright but chilly week, but to be honest, I'd take advantage of that sun while you still can, because the weather's set to turn nasty in the coming weeks with heavy showers and blustery winds. And as we approach the spring, remember pollen levels will be rising, so make sure you're getting prepared if you suffer from hay fever. Back to you, Jericho.
That's all we've got time for this week. To keep your finger on the pulse, check us out at gust.tv, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Goodbye.